Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Hope you guys are doing well on this Monday afternoon. It is February 22nd, 2020. Hope you guys all had a fantastic Monday. There will be two videos coming out tonight. The first video, which I'll get to in a minute, will be my New Zealand Warriors NRL 2021 predicted NRL team that I have selected, the best 1 to 17 for the New Zealand Warriors. And after that, probably around 7:30, 8 o'clock tonight will be the Corner Post, episode number 47. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, let's get into this video, which is going to be my New Zealand Warriors 2021 NRL predicted team. Now, like all the other predicted teams that I've done so far, I've had a look at the squad of the Warriors. I've gone through their 30-man roster, and I've put together my best 1 to 17 for the New Zealand Warriors, along with the 4 reserve players in case of injury and suspension, as always. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. So at fullback, and also the captain, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. On the wings, David Fusitu'a and Cain Mamalo. In the centres, Ewan Aiken and Peter Hiku. In the halves, 5'8", Cody Nikorima. Halfback, Chanel Harris-Tavita. The front row of Addin Fonua-Blake and Cain Evans. The hooker is Wade Egan. The second row of Eli Katoa and Ben Monok Masilla. The lock is Tohu Harris. And on the bench, I have gone with Jazz Tavaga, Jermaine Tunua-Brown, Lisa Armau, and Bailey Sheridan. The coach is Nathan Brown. And the 4 reserve players, in case of injury and suspension, I've gone with Jack Murchie, Josh Curran, Sean O'Sullivan, and Rocco Berry. That is my New Zealand Warriors 2021 predicted NRL team. Now, I'll start with the fullback. It's his last year at the New Zealand Warriors before he goes to that terrible sport, rugby union. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck's the captain. One of the best fullbacks in the game, probably in the top 5 best fullbacks in the country. He's a fantastic player, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. He provides leadership. He provides a lot of things for the Warriors. He does everything for that team. And obviously, he at fullback is a no-brainer. The wingers, David Fusitu'a and Cain Mamalo. Now, Fusitu'a didn't play a lot last year due to the the Chinese virus. He had a bit of homesickness, so he went home. Didn't really play a lot at the Warriors last year, but before we went back, we all know how good of a winger Fusitu'a is. He is probably in the top 10, top 15 best wingers in the game. He's a fantastic player, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he goes this year. The other winger is Cain Mamalo, another fantastic winger. Does a great job for the Warriors week in, week out. He gets the sets rolling. He provides a good platform for the team. And I think he's a great finisher in the corner as well. So obviously Fusitu'a and Cain Mamalo are the perfect wingers for the Warriors. In the centres, Ewan Aiken and Peter Hiku. Ewan Aiken left the Dragons to go over to the Warriors. I think Ewan Aiken will be a great signing for the Warriors. He's a very good centre. Had a pretty good year last year in his struggling Dragons side. I think Ewan Aiken's a very good player, and I think he'll do very well with the Warriors. The other centre is Peter Hiku. Now, Peter Hiku pretty much resurrected his career last year. Going into last year, there were a lot of question marks for Peter Hiku. Does he still have what it takes to be a good player? When Todd Payton took over as head coach at the back end of last year, Peter Hiku's game went to a whole new level. He really improved and became a better player. So it was good to see Peter Hiku play well. But I think Aiken and Hiku will do a good job for the Warriors in the centres. In the halves, Cody Nikorima and Chanel Harris-Tavita. Cody Nikorima last year stood up pretty well. I thought he had a really good year last year, Cody Nikorima. I thought he was very improved last year. There were a lot of question marks about him going over to the Warriors, being a halves partner, or being a half week in, week out. And I thought he did a pretty good job last year. He had a good combination with Chanel Harris-Tavita. And I thought Cody Nikorima played very well last year. And the halfback, a man that I've been praising for a little bit of some time now, the halfback, Chanel Harris-Tavita. Now, I rate the kid pretty highly. I think he's a fantastic player, great defender, great goal kicker, great game manager, a very good young player coming through. I think he'll lead the Warriors to success in the coming years. I think he's a fantastic player, Chanel Harris-Tavita. And obviously, I've got him at halfback, and he has a good combination in the halves with Cody Nikorima. The front row of Addin Fonua-Blake and Cain Evans. 2 new front rows for the Warriors. Addin Fonua-Blake left the Seagulls to go over to the Warriors, and I think Fonua-Blake will do a very good job with the Warriors. He'll be a bit of a leader there now, the leader of the forward pack. Fullback is basically the Tamalolo, the Papali, the Payne Haas of his side. I think Fullback will do a very good job at the Warriors this year. Hopefully his off-field distractions are all behind him. I think Fullback will have a big year at the Warriors, so obviously I got him in the front row, along with Cain Evans. Now, Cain Evans left the Eels at the end of last year, gone to the Warriors now. First year at the Warriors. I think he'll start at the Warriors. I don't think he'll come off the bench. I think he'll be in the starting side. I think Cain Evans will do a good job for the Warriors. Hopefully, Fullback and Cain Evans can build a good front row partnership together. I think they will. So I got Fullback and Cain Evans in the front row. The hooker is Wade Egan. Now I have a few question marks on Wade Egan. A little bit concerned about Wade Egan. Can he be an 80-minute hooker? We don't know. We'll soon find out when the season does begin. But I think Wade Egan will start at hooker for the Warriors. Whether he plays the full 80 or not is completely up to Nathan Brown, the coach. But is Wade Egan the answer for the Warriors? That's probably another video for another time. But I think Wade Egan will do a job at dummy half for the Warriors, even though I have a few worrying question marks on that. The back row of Eli Katoa and Ben Monok Masilla. Now, Eli Katoa came on the scene last year as a very good young back rower coming through. I think the bloke has a lot of potential. If he keeps his mind to it, I think he'll become a very good player in the future. He's a strike second rower. He worries the defensive line. And I think Eli Katoa will do a good job for the Warriors. The other back rower is Ben Monok Masilla. Now, obviously, he used to play for the West Tigers a while ago. Now he went over to the Warrington Wolves, played a bit over there, played with Salford. Now he's over at the New Zealand Warriors. Now, there's been a lot of talk about him playing in the front row. It clearly won't happen. He isn't a middle player. He'll play on the edge. And I think Toru Harris will move back to the locker. Ben Monok Masilla, I think he's in for a big year at the Warriors, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he goes. And at lock, Toru Harris. Now, Toru Harris was second row of the year last year, I think, with Kickout. I thought he was fantastic. But Toru Harris, I thought he was fantastic last year. I think he deserves to play back row, but I think he'll be better off at lock in this team going forward. Like I said, Monok Masilla isn't a middle player. I think Toru Harris can do a job in the middle for the Warriors, so I think he'll play at lock, and I think he'll do a good job there. Now on the bench, first player I got is Jazz Tavaga. Now Jazz Tavaga, he can play lock, he can play hooker. I think he'll come on and play a bit of hooker for Wade Egan. I think they'll rotate. I know a lot of people don't want to see Jazz Tavaga play hooker, but I think he'll play a decent role off the bench for the Warriors, whether he plays hooker or lock. I think he'll provide a good job for the Warriors. Now, the two front rows to come on for Fullback and Cain Evans when they wear out is Jermaine Tanua-Brown and Leeson Armour. Now, Jermaine Tanua-Brown, a pretty good young front rower coming through at the Warriors. He used to play for the Newcastle Knights Juniors. Now he's at the Warriors. Had an okay year last year. I think he'll improve as the year goes on. Jermaine Tanua-Brown, I think he'll do a good job. And the other front rower, Leeson Armour. Now, he's been at the Dragons. He's been at the Cowboys. He's been at the Warriors. It's his second time at the Warriors. I think he'll do a good job for the Warriors. He's very experienced. He knows his job. He doesn't whinge about anything. He just gets out there. Whether he plays front row, back row, or lock, I'll guarantee you, he'll do a job for you week in, week out. So, Leeson Armour, the ultimate bloke who never whinges about anything. I think he'll come off the bench for the Warriors. And the other player I got is Bailey Sirden. Now, a lot of people think Jack Murchie will be on the bench, but I think it'll be Bailey Sirden simply because why would he leave a South Sydney Rabbitohs back row position to go to the Warriors and be on the bench and be out of the team? So I think Bailey Sirden will play on the bench for the Warriors, but I would not be surprised if he did make the starting side and they brought Monok Masilla off the bench. I wouldn't be shocked if they did do that, but I've got Bailey Sirden on the bench at this stage. And now the reserves. First player, 18th man, Jack Murchie. I think he'll be in the reserves most weeks. It'll probably be 18th man most weeks, Jack Murchie. But I think he'll do a good job if he does get into the side. Along with Josh Curran. Now, Josh Curran's not a bad player coming through. Played in the All-Star game on the weekend. Thought he did a pretty good job, to be honest. And I think he'll be in the squad most weeks, but I think he'll miss out on the 17. But I wouldn't be shocked if he made the team at all. Along with Sean O'Sullivan, he is the backup half. So if Nicarima went down or if Chanel Harris-Tavita went down, I think Sean O'Sullivan would probably come in for them if there was an injury or suspension. So Sean O'Sullivan is probably the backup half for the Warriors. And the last player I got in the reserves is the young fullback coming through, Rocco Berry. Now, a little bit of hype around this kid. I haven't seen much of him play, to be honest, but I've heard a lot of big raps around him, so hopefully he can make his way into the first grade side this year, and I think he'll do a decent job if he does get a run. Rocco Berry, so I've got him making the reserves. But anyway, guys, that's my New Zealand Warriors 2021 predicted NRL team. Let me know your Warriors 1 to 17 in the comment section below. But anyway, guys, as always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you guys go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in about an hour or so for the Corner Post, episode number 47. Alright, guys, until then, stay safe. I'll see you guys in the next one.